Hey, welcome to Estevan TV. I'm at PushGapRadio.com.
PushGapRadio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.
PushGapRadio.com. Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
They say Michael Jackson died in 1979, not in 2009. Before I delve into it real quick, let me let you hear Ayatollah Marv. Or Shaq, who the hell is Ayatollah Marv? Ayatollah Marv was Compton, California's oldest living Pyru member. And here he says that Michael Jackson allegedly OD'd and died in 1979. Check out what he had to say.
That Elizabeth Taylor took Michael Jackson to the party.
Okay.
In some kind of way, in the party, it was induced and Michael Jackson OD'd.
Really? In 1979?
1979.
So you saying did he pass away in 1979?
So I wasn't there. But
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, Michael Jackson was deceased in 1979. When Las Vegas found out about it, they said they could not have a pop icon die in Las Vegas. They had just lost the R&B king, Elvis Presley, 1977. They said it would be bad business. So I understood they went to the Jackson family and told them what happened. And that you got other sons. If we say this about Michael, then it'll ruin you. You'll be back in Gary, Indiana. Allegedly. All of a sudden in 1979, he's doing a commercial and a fire happened and his hair caught on fire.
Was that in 79? That was in the 80s, wasn't it?
1979.
In 79, his hair caught on fire?
1979, the Pepsi commercial.
Wow.
So he was in hibernation rehabilitating, so they said that they had lookalikes because they were recreating a Michael Jackson and making a clone.
Wow.
Yeah. Michael Jackson died in 1979. Now, is it cap? Or did Mike sign a deal with the devil? They say Neverland Ranch investigators discover corpse of Michael Jackson. Did investigators discover the corpse of Michael Jackson buried at his Neverland Ranch in March of 2005, 4 years before he passed away? 4 years before he was reported dead. According to American online news portal The Onion, the corpse of the late music legend Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana, was discovered at Neverland. Say he died some 18, 20 years ago. Say back in March of 2005 when Michael Jackson was still alive and undergoing trial on sexual abuse charges, The Onion published an article positioning that police investigators had found and identified the decomposed corpse of the immensely popular entertainer buried on the grounds of his Neverland Ranch, and that the person on trial in his name was an imposter. Okay. Now, during a search for evidence at the Neverland Valley Ranch, investigators discovered a corpse that has been identified as that of Michael Jackson, according to Santa Barbara police officials. Coroners have officially pronounced Michael Jackson dead, and from what they could tell, he died between 18 and 20 years ago, according to forensic investigator Tim Holbrook. Said they're not certain at the time who or what was standing trial at the courthouse for the pedophilia deal. According to Mr. Holbrook, Jackson's corpse was buried just inches below a stretch of the miniature train tracks that ran throughout Neverland. The largely decimated corpse wore the remains of a red zipper-covered jacket with a single glove. Now, you heard what old boy said. He was at the Boogaloo with Liz Taylor in 79 and OD'd on that good dope. Do you believe it? Now, according to Mr. Holbrook, they have positively identified the body as Michael Jackson by his dental records and DNA. Said before they conducted a single forensic test, they began to suspect that they'd uncovered the real Michael Jackson. and that the disturbing figure claiming to be MJ was fake. Put in the comments, what do you think? What do you think? Is it cap? Or do you think Michael Jackson truly died? They said because Elvis had died there, Las Vegas didn't want the thing of having two major stars die, and they was giving him a bad name. Live here in Dallas, Texas. You know, John F. Kennedy, the president, was assassinated here. That's kind of fucked up for that to be your claim to fame. Said someone died in your city. Now, Mr. Holbrook said that although the corpse was in an advanced stage of decomposition, when investigators compared the body to early career publicity photos of Jackson, they saw a striking resemblance in bone structure and facial features. Said the discovery raises a lot of questions, but it also sheds light on a number of disturbing incidents. Can't nobody tell me this ain't a crackhead story. Some crackhead came up with this shit. Somebody said, I remember reading years ago that Katherine Jackson said this was not her son's voice on the Thriller album. Said Mike had several doubles. Said in an interview with Janet Jackson that she said their relationship had changed when he did Thriller. Said something had changed. That's what Janet said. So he came in her room one day and didn't say a word. Watch her documentary again. Tell us a lot. We just don't listen. For a little bit further breakdown, let's check out what this white lady had to lay down about Michael Jackson. Check it out.
Michael Jackson was his original body, I'm going to put it like that, really discovered in 2005. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Somebody had tagged me in another video, so I went and looked, and this is what I found. Santa Barbara, California, during a search for evidence at the Neverland Valley Ranch, investigators discovered a corpse that has been identified as that of Michael Jackson, Santa Barbara police officials announced Tuesday. Coroners have officially pronounced Michael Jackson unalived. From what we can tell, he unalived between 18 and 20 years ago. Okay, now that puts the timeline between 1978 and 1979. Now, Tim Holbrook, the investigator, said that we are not certain at this time who or what has been standing trial in the Santa Maria courthouse. According to Holbrook, Jackson's was buried just inches below a stretch of the miniature train tracks that run throughout Neverland. The largely desiccated corpse wore the remains. They said they found him below the train that runs throughout Neverland, just inches below like the tracks. We positively identified the body as Jackson by his dental records and DNA. Holbrook said that although the corpse was in an advanced stage of decomp, when investigators compared the body to early career publicity photos of Jackson, they saw a striking resemblance in bone structure and facial features. But when they compared the body to photos taken after 1987, the resemblance was negligible. This discovery raises lots of questions, but it also sheds light on a number of disturbing incidents, Holbrook said. Frankly, Jackson had been acting pretty strange. Forensic experts and music critics are postulating that Jackson was dead before the release of the multi-platinum album Bad. Now, I just want to say that we all know, and Suge Knight and everybody's been saying, that the Zionists are the ones. And do you think Sony really wanted him to go out on his own and make his own money? No. It said here that detectives are currently analyzing the lyrics to Man in the Mirror for any clues relating to a look-alike entity that may suspect unalived the youngest member of the Jackson 5 and assumed his identity. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. We believe that Neverland served as some sort of freakishly whimsical tomb constructed by Jackson's unaliver, Holbrook said. We also suspect that all of the iniquities that occurred on that ranch were the work of the imposter. Now, this was in 1979, okay? Just a short period later, you get this. And here is the train. Now, someone has said, named Allard He said he thinks that the imposter broke ties with Jackson's former friends and surrounded himself with children who were too young to notice the radical change. Holbrook went on to say that he didn't know who this creature was. You know, and it's weird because, you know, Sony, they weren't liking him wanting to change his persona from Michael Jackson and go to MJ. Then, you know, there was that incident with that Pepsi where he got burnt up real bad or whatever, and that's what they said led to this, but I just don't know. You know how the music industry is with their fucking cover-ups. I mean, for reals.
So soon after its publication, links to the excerpts referencing this article were being circulated via the internet. Many of those who encountered the item mistake it for a genuine news item. This was written by The Onion. This piece had a renewed circulation in June of 2009 after Michael Jackson died for real. This story had resurfaced, and again in December of 2013. Says fictional humor spoofing Michael Jackson's current legal problems at the time and his well-known penchant for undergoing appearance-altering medical procedures, courtesy of The Onion newspaper. They say The Onion uses invented names in all its stories, except in cases where public figures are being satirized. Any use of real names is accidental and coincidental. So, do you think Michael Jackson died of an overdose in 1979? See, the internet come up with a whole bunch of crazy shit. Some of y'all can get your head bumped. Some of you going to pull that computer out your pocket and do a little research. I don't think it's real. But I'm biased. I'm from Gary, Indiana. Grew up going to talent shows, watching the Jackson 5 as a kid. So I don't think it's true. You know, a lot of shit come on the damn internet, man. Anything to get a rise up out of you. So let us know what you think. Put it down in the comments. Michael Jackson, do you think he died in 2009 or do you think he died in 1979? Do you believe the story that they found this man's body on his property at Neverland? What do you think? Give us a shout out and let us know.
PushGapRadio.com. We want to be your official Dallas internet station.